So, how do you cope with failure? The way that you cope with failure tends to reveal your mindset, whether you have a fixed mindset or a growth mindset. And your mindset will determine your long-term success. Hi, my name is Chris Gibson, and I'm a college instructor of psychology and religion, as well as a doctoral student in psychology. So I want to share with you a book review of the book Mindset. The New Psychology of Success by Dweck. The subtitle of this book is How We Can Fulfill Our Potential. How we can fulfill our potential. Now, my book reviews for this channel, they typically cover popular level books written by academic psychologists. The one exception of that was Daniel Pink, his book Drive, who is a business writer and really a popularizer. He's a very good writer, a very good speaker, although I did find it to be a disappointing book. Anyway, Mindset is a popular level book written by a research psychologist, Dweck, from Stanford University. Now, this is really the kind of book that I typically like to read and review because it's based on good psychological research, not just on one person's personal experience. And there's nothing wrong with anecdotal experience. There's nothing wrong with people who write business books and things like that out of their experience. But when you're doing psychological research, the point is that you're getting a broader view from a cohort or a group of people. In this case, Dweck's done research for years and years into this topic. It's well supported in the research. And that's one of the reasons I really like to review books that are written by a psychologist, a researcher, and so I think her book fits into that category, and this is one of the books I certainly like to review. Now, with her book, it's 8 chapters, and it really could have been sectioned into 2 parts. Part 1 being explaining mindsets, which would be chapters 1 through 3, and then part 2, applying mindsets, which would be chapters 4 through 8. Dweck firmly situates her research in psychology, quote, in psychology that shows the power of people's beliefs. And she mentions this in the introduction. She remarks that what you believe about yourself guides a large part of your life. And this is called mindset. In chapter 1, based on her research, a fixed mindset is a mindset that believes your qualities are unchangeable and results in your having to prove yourself over and over and over. A growth mindset believes that your qualities can be cultivated through effort, and it embraces challenges that you'll face. So, what's your mindset? I asked you at the beginning, how do you handle failure? Because how you handle failure often reveals your mindset. When you fail, does it mean that you are a failure? Or does it mean that you can accept the challenge, give more effort, and overcome it? The fixed mindset does not believe that it can do anything about failure. Failure becomes the identity of the person. Whereas a growth mindset believes that it can do something about failure. So think about the last time that you experienced a failure at some point. What did you do with that failure? Did you see it as, great, I'm a failure, I can't do anything, and so you become more self-protective, you are more careful in the areas you choose to do anything, only areas you can succeed in? Or did you accept the challenge and you say, I can put more effort into this, I can learn, I can grow? Because it makes a huge difference in the way that you approach these things, your mindset. So it goes further than this. A fixed mindset believes in ability, not effort. Either you have the ability or you don't have the ability. And if you don't have the ability, you never will, according to the fixed mindset. A growth mindset believes in development and in effort. You may fail, but you're not a failure. You can develop the abilities. You can improve those abilities with effort. Growth mindsets are important to success, to achievement. Chapter 2, Dweck asks, is success about learning or proving you're smart? If success is about learning, then setbacks are a stepping stone to success. If success is about proving you're smart, then setbacks are stones piled up upon your self-esteem. Fixed mindsets seek to cover deficiencies while growth mindsets seek to learn. Fixed mindset people, they choose short-term strategies instead of long-term success. Growth mindset people choose long-term strategies over short-term success. A fixed mindset seeks to survive while a growth mindset seeks to thrive. And so you have fundamentally different ways in approaching life because of these mindsets. And so the question is, which mindset do we choose? Because it even plays a role in your mental health. They found with depression that fixed mindset people, they feel depressed and label themselves as failures. They feel they can't do anything about it, so they don't. Growth mindset people, they feel depressed, and when they feel depressed, they become more determined to cope with it. They don't become passive and inactive. Instead, the more depressed they become, the more determined they are to cope with it and to overcome it. So it makes a difference whether or not you have a fixed or a growth mindset, even when it comes to your mental health. Now in chapter 3, Dweck talks about ability and accomplishment. The fixed mindset limits achievement, while the growth mindset provides focus, effort, and strategies. Fixed mindsets become entrenched by supportive parents and teachers praising abilities, not effort. Growth mindsets flourish when they're supported by praising their effort, not their abilities. A fixed mindset cannot accept criticism, while a growth mindset can accept criticism. The growth mindset empowers people to use and develop their abilities more fully. And so here in chapters 1 through 3, you have an explanation of the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. And then in chapters 4 through 7, Dweck goes on to apply these to various areas. She applies them to sports, to business, to romantic relationships, to parents, teachers, and coaches. And I have to be honest, these chapters just seem repetitive. And I wrote my review, and then I looked at other reviews, and I wasn't the only one who thought this, that there was a repetitiveness about these chapters. And so my opinion is that these chapters should have been integrated into chapters 1 through 3 and chapter 8. And this book, honestly, it could have been about 100 pages, and it could have been a good read. But I feel like they made the book fit with the publisher's requirements that there be a certain length, and so they unnecessarily drug it out. And it's kind of disappointing in that respect. Reading chapters 4 through 7 just took an extreme effort to just wade through them. Her examples are tried and tiring at this point. And one of the things you find is, and this, she mentioned these examples already in chapters 1 through 3, and then in the sports chapter she mentions John McEnroe again. In the business chapter she mentions Lee Iacocca again. And they just become whipping boys for her ideas. And I just didn't like that. I mean, I thought, man, it's repetitive, it's unnecessary. And so I think that chapter 8, though, does provide some practical, helpful applications for mindset. Unfortunately, I was just so frustrated by chapters 4 through 7 that it wasn't until I went back and reread it that I could actually appreciate what she said in chapter 8. So my summary. Chapters 1 through 3, they're very good. Dweck is a research psychologist. Her research is solid. It's very good research. I didn't spot any major problems. I mean, her ideas are well supported over many years of doing research. And so her expertise, her basic ideas, no question. She includes exercises and reflections at the end of the chapters, which I also found very helpful. I mean, I actually tried to kind of do some of those and see how it worked out, and I thought it was very helpful that she included those. The problem is that chapters 4 through 7, they just seem like publisher filler. And so they do seem repetitive. They don't really add anything to the book that couldn't have been integrated into other chapters. And I have to say, it just makes me curious about the hype that was around this book when it came out. the hype doesn't match the product, okay? I mean, chapters 1 through 3 and chapter 8, very good, but it just seems like they overhyped this book. I mean, it's significant, they have significant ideas in it, but it should have been, a half or a third of the length that it ended up being because of the publisher filler that I think got thrown in. It was first published in 2006 and updated in 2017. I originally read the 2006 edition and then compared it against the 2017 updated edition. And frankly, I feel like the publisher didn't take the criticism seriously. They didn't make major adjustments to the book or revisions of it. And really all that I found that they did was add 2 extra sections to 2 chapters. And so I guess that qualifies as an updated book. I'm a little disappointed that they did that. Honestly, it just seems like the publisher was out to make more money. If you typically order books through Amazon, I am providing an affiliate link down below. If you're interested in this book, I would suggest buying it used, honestly. There's no way I'd pay full price for it. If you get it used and you read chapters 1 through 3 and chapter 8, frankly, I think that would probably be the route I would go and suggest going, knowing what I know now. If you want to know when new content is published on this channel, please consider clicking on the red subscription button. And I hope to regularly publish book reviews, especially popular level books written by scholars in the field. And so if you get the opportunity, click on subscribe, and that way you'll know when new things come out. Thank you very much for listening to this book review, and I hope to see you later.